Hello and welcome to the French Toast Crew podcast. Today I'm here with myself, Toast, and I'm here with French and Krew, as well as a special guest, Jelly. Today we have many topics to talk about. We have a topic that was suggested by a fan. Make sure that you support us on our YouTubes, Spotify, and or Instagram. If you want to suggest a topic for us to talk about on the next podcast, go ahead and follow our Instagram. It's French Toast Crew. It's the first link in the description below. All right, so today, getting into things, we're going to start off with some gaming news. The gaming news is real quick. We have the release of Cyberpunk 2077 after 5 years. Um,
3 years.
at the end of the day, the game was garbage. Pack it up. That's just about it. Cyberpunk is more, from what I've seen, it is a futuristic GTA. If any of you guys have played Rage 2, you will definitely feel right at home playing Cyberpunk, especially with the constant crashing, the different models not loading, and weapons not working. Next on our gaming news, we
Hold on,
have.
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Jeez, yo. Okay, so Cyberpunk 77 was made by Sucker Punch Studios. Um, they had this game in the works for almost 3 years, delaying it over and over again. Um, it works on PC. It does work on PC.
Those with PlayStations don't even think about it.
Uh, yeah, there's a lot of game breaking bugs on PC and Xbox One, as well as the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. Uh, the game got pulled off of Sony's Play stores because even Sony thought it was a bad look to be promoting this game. If you bought this for someone for Christmas, uh, you might want to get the refund unless it's the PC version. Or who knows? Who knows? Sucker Punch said that they won't be releasing any more updates to the game, but it might end up like a No Man's Sky situation where they take a few years to make the game what it was supposed to be. Um, I'm not particularly hopeful in that department, but only the future can tell. Only the future can tell.
I told you the official game will be released in 2077. Next, on our gaming news, um, we've had another contender enter the console wars. If you guys have noticed, KFC has released their what they call their brand new console. Let me pull up the post. So according to Tech Radar News, let me go ahead and pull up this post. The KF console is real, and it boasts one big advantage over the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. Approved by Colonel Sanders himself, the KFC console is here, and it finally solves a problem that literally no one cared about until now: how to keep your chicken warm while gaming. The KS console was created in partnership with PC hardware manufacturer Coolmaster, and it promises to shake up the console wars like a full bag of 11 herbs and spices with this built-in chicken chamber. Let me skip over this a little bit. So basically, it is a chicken warmer for your console to to put your chicken in while you're gaming.
Uh, French, can you see yourself buying this for Christmas?
Never thought of this though. It's going to be purchased by many, but
Uh,
go
oh
ahead.
yeah, a lot of people are gonna buy it, but
Just off the name, if you ever like think about uh like whatever apparel brand or whatever, just sometimes things just off their name people will buy, which is ludicrous, but that's the world that we live
Yep, yep. Um, so suspiciously, the console doesn't have a release date, a price, or any nailed-on specifications to it yet. Although I think it does have a website. Um, yeah. That would be that would be insane if more people bought this than like an actual console to find out that it's just a chicken basket. But it's called the KF console. Like it's a legitimate console. So I don't know. You might be able to, you know, it might just have like some of the PlayStation 4 hardware without like the fans, and you just put that in there, and then you can play like, I don't know, Smite or something, and then instead of hearing a loud engine noise while you're playing the PS4, you having your chicken stay warm.
Have they posted the price for this yet?
No, they haven't posted a price or like any actual specifications, but they are saying that it's a real thing. So I don't know about that.
Sound like a myth more than a real thing.
Yeah, what's your opinion on that, Jelly? Oh, did I introduce you on the podcast?
I'm sure you did. For my opinion on that, huh? I mean, personally, I wouldn't buy it. It doesn't seem like it would be able to run many games on it. No.
Well, I mean, they said themselves that it can run Crisis. It was, hold on, I need to find it again. It was Crisis in another game. Um,
Crisis. Uh,
so it says, while the specs are firmly under wraps, the console promises to have a top-end Intel CPU inside, a ASUS hot swappable mini GPU, and a NVMe 1 terabyte solid state drive. So that
Well,
means,
now that you say that, maybe,
so it
maybe like
means, so it means
maybe it's like as a meme.
the console can run Crysis and even Cyberpunk 2077. Could you imagine playing Crysis on KFC console, bro? You could be
Bro,
you could be the first person alive to cook chicken while playing a game.
it'll be such a flex.
The only
Can
problem
your
that
can your console cook chicken while you play games?
the Xbox One probably, bro. If you remove the fans. But speaking of the fans, they didn't put a fan on the specs at all. So I'm not I'm not sure if it's just computer made to run super hot and it just cooks
nah,
your it just
that thing's gonna
Well,
overheat.
it's supposed to keep your chicken warm, not cook your chicken, isn't it?
well, yeah, but yeah, it'll keep it warm if they don't have any fans or nothing on it. KFC has also released a little movie called The
Okay.
Recipe for Seduction. Krew has he's seen the movie. He thought I'd give us a review on it. So what's your take on new KFC's new movie?
Okay, so in this movie, A Recipe for Seduction, it's a 15-minute short romantic drama. It came out December 13th, and it is essentially a love story with young Colonel Sanders and a basically a daughter of a noble family, and basically in the movie, the daughter is kind of being forced to marry this other rich guy because the mom is in terrible debt, but she falls for the new chef who ends up being Colonel Sanders.
All right. Don't spoil the movies. No spoilers there, bro. um, yeah. So with KFC making all these marketing moves, do you think that KFC is trying to release something new, like a new chicken, like a new restaurant? What do you
Well,
guys think about these new marketing moves from KFC?
fried chicken literally sells itself.
Yeah. You think like remember like Thanksgiving, but like the like all the turkeys that sold or
Yeah.
Yeah,
the sandwiches. for like how many millions of dollars. Just think like that. Like it sells, like you said, it sells itself just off its name. Like how many people do you know like around Christmas time or Thanksgiving that instead of like cooking chicken, they just go out and grab it, which is
Just
crazy.
just go buy a box from KFC.
Yeah, in Japan, KFC is like their Christmas morning food. They even have myths and legends regarding around the Colonel.
That is that is interesting. What do you think about that, Jelly?
Do you happen to know any of the myths?
There was one like so basically they took a statue of the Colonel and they like threw it in the lake, I believe. And let me see. And KFC myth or mysteries.
Yeah, so yes, there was one where it was for this baseball team, and this baseball team was on this losing streak for like decades, and then the baseball team finally won. So they were taking so a crowd formed like outside this lake, and they were
Curse of the Colonel.
yeah, and they were taking people who looked like each player on the baseball team and jumping into the lake. And there was a guy on the team, I forget his name right now, but he was an American player. So they didn't have many Americans there nor inside that crowd. So what they did, the next best thing, they took the colonel because he looked the closest to the player that was inside that crowd, and they hoisted him up and marched down him to the lake and threw him in the lake. Unfortunately, ever since they did that, the team never won they didn't win another baseball game after that. So they think
Yeah,
that
they've been on an 18-year losing streak.
yes, so they think that they think that because they threw the colonel inside the lake, that the colonel cursed them. Which
That's interesting.
yeah, which I think it's just because that baseball team sucks. I mean, they were losing before they were losing beforehand. They were losing beforehand. All right, they won a game and then they started losing again, bro. That's like bro, that's like saying that like, oh, you're really good at a game, or like you're the best COD player in the world because you won one one tournament. Yeah, nah. But I
Just
was
per se.
yeah,
But
like I was asking more on what do you think the plans are for KFC be because honestly I like personally I have like I haven't seen a lot of marketing from KFC except for the occasional get your $5 chicken fill up and then that's about it. But now they're making movies, they're making consoles, like they're really trying to branch out. And do you think that this would be that this would be like a gateway for other for other companies to get into gaming?
I think maybe personally because like it is the pandemic and stuff like that. Like they're maybe losing like money because they have to because of the fact that some people can't work and they're like, yo, people stay home and play video games all day and they watch movies. They can't buy my chicken. Let's sell game consoles and movies.
So how would you
But,
feel
but
about a
wait,
McMovie though?
how much did these things cost though?
Whoa, where'd you watch the movie? Like was it on YouTube for free?
No, it was on I watched it on Lifetime. Like on the I actually watched it. It had a slot. It had a legitimate
you
slot.
watch them lifetime now, man.
Yeah, it had a legitimate slot on Lifetime.
You're bugging, bro. There's no
Nah,
way.
nah,
All
bro.
right, well, all right. Well, I mean, well, that's how they're getting their money for it. I mean, they have to, like, don't they get revenue and stuff like that on TV?
Yeah, but still, the budget for first off, the budget to make a console, if they're actually making it, and then a movie,
Well,
and on top of that, they're losing all this money from the pandemic.
are they really losing money though? And like, is it like enough money where they're like, oh, we're gonna start closing down some KFCs? Because I
Or
mean,
maybe they're taking like this as an opportunity to make more money since more people are staying home.
yeah, like I think it'd be like more of it, because because I don't see KFC like, look, bro, we went to Wendy's just now and it was packed. So like I doubt that like people like especially humans like we would just stop going to KFC. I mean like they're like oh you can just go through the drive-through and pick up your chicken and then eat it at home. Get it Uber Eats over here. You know this is really sound like a sponsorship now or I mean like sound like an ad for KFC. You know you guys should
Pay for
sponsor.
it, man.
Yeah, you guys should definitely sponsor us.
Or like we just stop talking about KFC.
Hey,
Yeah.
yo, KFC, where's that sponsorship at?
Bro, it's finger
Yeah.
licking good, huh?
I just say like this, man. Like you see the ads on TV. See some certain places you don't even need to you don't need to advertise anymore because you know what they offer. But it just shows like how can I say this like the difference in classes, right? Or like lower class, middle class, upper class, right? Certain restaurants you see in certain classes, and not trying to talk up or down about anybody, but in your neighborhoods, like I don't see too many KFC, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Or in certain residencies, so I don't see too many KFCs. But when I don't know when you're really hungry and you want that type of food, you go to that particular establishment because you know that name. So I'm pretty sure, like in certain areas like that I know of, KFC is like all year round, regardless of pandemic or not. It's selling, but in certain areas, KFC is probably like on its last leg or whatever. Like, so I think like in those areas like that aren't selling like that, yeah, this is a good move for it because it puts KFC more in the forefront. Like, oh, I didn't even know that would have about KFC. But in other areas, they like this is another reason for me to even go grab KFC right now. They got a video game system. Like, all right, cool. I eat it all day, every day anyway. So I think like it sells. That name sells itself. Just like Churchies or Popeyes or I remember the other day I was screaming that I got Popeyes. Is it Popeyes? Yeah.
The chicken
Yeah.
biscuit.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
got Popeye. You know the black guy. I was singing that all day long. Like I was just off the commercial. Now just imagine now they come out with they got a sneaker line. Or they got,
The
like,
Popeye sneakers, bro. Those would sell like clockwork, bro.
like clockwork. So now you tell me they got a movie. KFC got a movie and video game. This is like I said, just depending on who you are. But I don't really support KFC. Like I'm not knocking them. Like I'm gonna say this. I eat the chicken, but like I just don't like the kernel. You catch my drift. I
Yeah.
don't want to go down that line. But like hey bro, it's like 20. It's like 2020 about to be 2021. We can find a new logo for KFC instead of the kernel. But I don't know. I think like yeah, like people will buy it regardless if they want to or not. Just to say they got a video game system and just to say they watched a Lifetime movie.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be Mr. Negative, but that's just how I feel about it.
I mean, pretty much anything from like these big brands in general would sell. Like, did you know that Sour Patch Kids had a shoe line that came out?
Oh my god.
Wow.
Yes.
But here's the other thing. Let somebody like I don't know, whatever rapper or entertainer, let somebody like be on a commercial. It's about to sell like Christmas.
Well, I mean, the Travis Scott burger. It's like that's a prime example. The dude basically added bacon to he added bacon to a cheeseburger, and that thing blew up like it blew up.
And it's just a sandwich, bro.
Yeah, like you can get it for cheaper.
Like it's legitimately like a cheaper
And it's
option.
sold out, bro. It's sold out. It's sold out. That's the crazy thing. So it just depends on like I said, like the name. And McDonald's was failing, and Travis Scott brought McDonald's back to life.
Yep, yep. All right.
Our next topic, some anime news. Basically, what I'm going to be doing right now is just talking about the new 2021 animes that are coming out to look forward to. Um, I'm probably going to miss like quite a few, but you always be on the lookout for the next big thing, dog. So one that started in 2020 actually is the Attack on Titan final season. It already has 3 episodes out. It comes out every like Saturday night, Sunday morning.
Depending on where you are.
If yeah, depending on where you are. Beastars season 2 is coming out January 5th. The next season of Seven Deadly Sins is coming out January 6th. On the same day, ReZero Season 2 Part 2 will be coming out. The day after that, The Promised Neverland Season 2 will be coming out. On the 7th as well, Cells at Work Code Black and Cells at Work Season 2 will be coming out.
Cells at Work is already out though.
Cells at Work Season 2.
Oh, okay.
And then they're making another series with it called Code Black.
All right.
And then Dr. Stone, the Stone Wars is going to come out on January 14th. And those will be the winter and then the Bungo Stray Dogs on the January 12th. And those be the upcoming winter animes. And for spring, March 27th, the next season of My Hero Academia. Hetalia in April. And then Godzilla. Netflix is making another Godzilla series called Singularity Point coming out April. In the summer 2021, that time I got reincarnated as a slime, season 2 part 2. That's just slotted for the summer. And then Fruit Basket, the final season is to be decided. The next season of Baki is to be decided, and they're making a Pacific Rim anime, which that is also to be decided.
What about Fire for Demon Slayer? When is their movie coming out?
Demon Slayer, the Mugen Train, that's going to come out early 2021, but the exact date is to be decided. Although I allegedly already seen it.
What's your opinion of your alleged viewing of
the Demon Slayer movie? Well, allegedly watching it, it focuses on one arc pretty much, which I think they were probably planning on making it a show, like just a part of the next season, but with the pandemic. A lot of anime companies decided to just make movies or just wait till the next year.
Okay. Is it something to look forward to? What's your first impressions of it so far?
Oh yeah, it's good. Maybe not anime of the decade. Definitely not anime of the decade, but it's good though. Like I would still recommend it.
All right, Jelly and French. Out of these topics or new shows coming out, is there any specific ones that you're looking forward to? Any opinions or is there some anime that you want to see more of coming out? Just what do you guys think?
Um, Well, for me, the one I'm most excited for is Bungo Stray Dogs. So yeah.
I'll probably say Baki. Uh, because I like how it ended, but I was kind of disappointed at the same time due to the end of that. And then like you saying Godzilla, like
Yeah, yeah,
the
they're
the
not.
the the first two were a
It
strain to get through for me.
well,
I'm gonna be honest.
I'm like it's a completely different series though. That
Yeah,
yeah. So I
Yeah,
was about to say like that was weird how
yeah,
part the end of part two of the Netflix Godzilla, because they're all movies, but
yeah,
it's like, oh, this is part one, and then it ends like there's supposed to be a part three, but then they just made
yeah.
a whole different
But
series.
part two, yeah, part two was a strain to get through though. Like if anyone telling me that they just like was just so into part two, hey, like more power to you. But I don't think like that. That was a strain, and I mean
yeah,
like a hard strain.
yeah. I didn't even get through part two.
Yeah,
I'm like still in the middle of it because it was like it's pretty slow in the pacing, and then it's kind of like a whole different. It's a whole new look on Godzilla, especially with them being like in space and that type of stuff.
yeah. Part if you haven't seen it yet, the Netflix adaptation of Godzilla, you should go ahead and check it out. Um, I think the first one is pretty good. Like I think like when I watched the first one, I was like, "Whoa, this is crazy," and I was actually looking forward to the second one. And then disappointment, but that's all good. Um,
Yeah,
Another show that's coming out, or another season of shows coming out, is Mandalorian. The next season of Mandalorian. Um, like I think that they just ended season two, if that's right.
yeah.
Yeah, and then they're making a season three of The Mandalorian. So far for what I've seen, I'm really looking forward to it. What's your viewpoints on that, guys?
Well, I'm still watching season one with our mom, but like
Uh,
we're only on episode like four, so
Man, you guys are behind. You need to catch up. Um,
yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it. I think I like it. I think like even those who are like the not the average Star Wars fan, I think can like it as well. I think like season two is more for those who like. I think like just like within every, I'm not gonna say every movie, but like when movies come out, like you just have straight action,
hmm
and then like season two, or even for shows, like season two is more like the prequel. It gives you like what happened beforehand,
Yeah,
so you kind of figure out who your character is, or who the character, the Mandalorian, or where it came from. So I think that's what season two was mostly about. That's how I feel about it, but I feel like it ended on a good note.
yeah. The reason I like The Mandalorian, and the same with what was it called? Rogue One, that Star Wars story. It's definitely not focusing just on it's not focusing on just the story of Luke Skywalker. Like unlike in Star Wars, like there's so much world building that wasn't done. Be, because like yeah, they go to other planets and stuff, but it's all laser beams and I think stuff like that. So I think like if you were watching just the movies and like you like kind of fell off, I think that if you watch like you watch like the first two episodes of Mandalorian, like the first one is like an hour long, and then the second one for like the rest of the season is like 30 minutes. Um, I think honestly, you could probably sit down and binge watch the entire show, but but those are for the people who are interested.
yeah, pretty much anywhere in the Star Wars universe, you could definitely make a whole spin-off show about it. Like, cause their entire galaxy is just well, the universe is just so big within in that show. You pretty much just plop plop a story down anywhere in that universe, and it wouldn't conflict with anything.
Yeah. All right, moving on to the next topic. This is a fan suggested topic. Just so you guys know, if you guys have topics and want to tell us the topics, those of you guys who are watching it on the YouTube version, you can go ahead and leave it in the comment section, and then while you're there, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bells. For those of you guys who are watching on our Instagram or on our Spotify, you can go ahead and go to our Instagram, French Toast Crew, and either send us a DM or shout us out on your story with your story topic, and we can definitely look at it and bring it up on the next podcast. Our topic today comes from Grusty. He says you should talk about your craziest school experiences or stories of things that happened to you in or during school. Let's start with the Krew for his craziest school experience.
I gotta kind of think for that one. Um, come back to me.
All right, all right, Jelly. What do you got for your craziest school experience, or just stories of
My
things that happened
craziest.
in or during the school?
Um, I don't know what should I talk about.
I mean, you talk about all of them, but just pick one to talk about.
uh, which one should I talk about? Which one should I retell?
Oh, I don't.
Oh wait, actually, I got one.
All right.
So at my school, I was, well, I'm still am in the marching band for the school. So we got to go to all these different schools. We even went out to Anaheim. So we went to this one particular college, and we were goofing off, being kids and stuff. And we were sitting on this like brick wall, and one of my friends just goes, hey, look at this. And he breaks a piece of a brick wall off and puts it in his pocket. And right when he does that, like campus security comes up walking by, and they look at me, and then they look at him, and then they look at the wall, and then they kept walking, and we just ran off, and we never put it back because the campus security was pretty much everywhere. So we have a piece of a college wall in one of our rooms.
Well, I mean, I'm sure you could say the college though, right?
No, nah.
Oh, okay. Because the statutes of limitation they don't expire on those things, right?
I think the statute of limitation is like 20 years.
Oh, okay. Um, did you pick one, Jelly?
Yes, okay. Okay, so during the time when I was in engineering, we doing projects, right? And we had the competition. So we had different projects. Everyone had like different projects. I chose a coding project. So I competed in for the coding part. And as I was competing, right before the timer ended, my computer wouldn't run the code.
That's just tragic. So okay, wait. So like this is like a tested project, and like you just need to click start on your program, and then it's supposed to run.
Yeah, we were supposed to fix a program for like it was like rock paper scissors. We were supposed to fix it. And right before the timer ended, I couldn't run my program. Like it wouldn't run.
Dang, that's just unfortunate. Did you get it to run
Eventually,
or like was that just it? Like you guys lost and then like
well, I definitely lost. That's a fact.
dang, that is unfortunate. All right. For me to host my a story that I'll have to tell in my yeah. So about my school experience, um, there was I'm on the ROTC. So like we have an ROTC program, and there was we had over President's Week. They let basically they let us stay over at the school to like help out. So I was helping in with a supply. So our supply is basically they take care of like all like issuing uniforms, taking stock of everything, and then prepping some stuff for events and whatnot. So I'm helping out supply, and we're counting these we're counting basically khakis because I believe the new Navy uniform, or it's not the new one, but the more official one, um you have the blouse, which is one color, and then the blouse and pants are like they're supposed to be the same color. But for my school, we have the blouse gold, and then the trousers black, and then no pockets. Which I don't know why you'd have pockets, even though you're not supposed to use them, but whatever. So I'm in there helping out supply, like counting out these numbers and whatever. And we have a competing team. Yeah, we have a national competing team, and they're in the we have an armed team, which is rifles, and then we have an unarmed team, which is which they don't have rifles, and then we have like a bunch of other teams, but it's all for competition purposes and whatnot. So the armed team, they're doing rifles, and so one of their moves or events is that they spin the rifle up in the air, so like they throw it up kind of like how they do in cheer, like with those sticks or whatever. So they do it with the rifle and then they catch it. Someone thought it was would have been a great idea to, you know, maybe make the weapons a little bit heavier and make it more simulated because they wanted to do like a ceremony type of drill. And they put bayonets on the ends of the rifles. So very quickly, supply turned into a medical office because kids kept slicing themselves with bayonets and just bleeding all over the floor. Like it got to the point where I started telling people like, "Oh no, you have to wait outside." Like, like, because we have to clean off the blood from the carpet, so you guys can bleed outside while we get you guys the stuff you need. Crazy stuff, fun stuff. What about you, friend? French. All right, I guess we'll come back to him.
You can talk about the box.
The box.
What?
I don't know what you're talking
The
about.
the box.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Alright, are you saying I don't know what you're talking about because you actually don't
No,
know?
no,
But
yeah, like I legitimately don't know the box. You have to give me like a one more descriptive word.
the the isolation box.
Oh, okay. Um, so
You
I
you
used
can't say the names. You can't say the names, but you can talk about it.
I used to be in special ed, and basically, if you've ever been in a special ed classroom, what they do is that they put kids. So there is physical disabilities and then emotional disabilities. Kids with disabilities go to one area, and then kids with emotional disabilities go to another. What I mean by emotional or by physical disabilities is like, oh, if you are missing an arm, like you're not going to be in special ed for that. But like people like Down syndrome and stuff like that. So with the emotional disabilities, what they'll do if you're being bad, acting a fool, throwing desks or whatever, they'll put you in
For
a
this particular school.
for this particular school. I'm not sure if all schools did this, but I know that most of the schools that I've been to did this. So there's a room. So you have your classroom. You walk in, you have the chairs and all this, and then there's another door, that leads to a box. Now it's another room. Like this room is like its own like corner of the classroom. So if you're being bad, they'll put you in this white like it's literally like a white room, bro. Like it's just a white room. Like the walls are white. Like the whole classroom can be painted like the whole different color, but the walls will be white. The walls are white, and then like there's nothing in there. It's just you and like what like the whole box is like 5 feet. So it's you in this
Yeah,
5 feet
yeah.
box, and then like
Because there was only like a window at like the top, and
yeah. So
you only needed to stand on a chair to look into the window.
yeah, like you have to be pretty high up to look in the window, and plus I was like 7 or 8, so like small children aren't gonna be at the top of that window. But anyway, that room is traumatizing because because I kept telling the teacher that there were spiders in there, and like every time they put me in there, like a spider would come down like, yo, what's good, and just watch me. And like I was terrified of spiders at the time, and like I tell her like, yo, there's spiders in there, and then she'd always just step in the room for a second, look up, not even look around, just look up. She's like, oh no, there's no spiders in here. What are you talking about? Oh man, that was fun times. Speaking of schools, shout out to my word of mouth people. You know, spreading the podcast via word of mouth. Um, if you guys know me personally, I was probably annoying this entire month. You know, promoting my podcast on all types of plat platforms. Pretty soon here, I'm gonna try to get it on the Apple Podcast and Stitcher. But as for now, it is on Instagram, YouTube, and Spotify. Did
Yeah,
we?
dude, the teacher that I had for my class in particular, because me and Toast were in two separate classrooms. She just did not like me. So every day, as soon as I would get into the classroom, she would immediately just put me into the room, and I would just be there all day. And
I'm,
she
sh-
would only
I'm
let
sure there's
she
some
would
kind
only,
of I'm sure there's some kind of class action lawsuit that we missed out on.
she would only let me out at like the end of the day, dude. This is why I was so adamant in just getting switched into your class, because she just had something against me, dog. But yeah, for these schools, there's a difference between hands on and like hands off schools. For hands on schools, me and Toast have been to both, but the box is a example of a hands off approach to it. You how it's supposed to be used is if the child is acting out or having a behavioral episode, they'll put them in the room till they like chill out or come to an agreement to where everyone's fine. In a hands-on school, that's more for violent kids. So therefore, the teacher and the staff that would be there would then have the right to
Bro,
restrain.
these dudes be fighting people up in here, bro.
they, they would they would restrain the child if they were doing anything violent, acting out, or anything like that. Um, However, my elementary school in the fifth grade was a hands-on school. We had some cool teachers, but it was still the whole like because at this school a lot of kids would go and fight. Although they never fought. Me and Toast were the only ones who would actually fight kids. But the teachers would. It's the what's it called? It's they wouldn't sit on you. Some schools sit on the kids. Some schools don't like to because that leads to death. And there's a lot of them when it comes to these hands-on schools. It's rare, but it does happen. I had to do a whole research paper on this, and it's a whole book of kids and how these teachers literally took their lives because of these hands-on approach. But that's a topic for another time. Our next topic here we'll be getting into is because we finished our first semester of distance learning. We'll be giving you the distance learning review. If you're not a student, this will be perfect for you to see how it is from a high school perspective. If you are a student, you know this all too well. Let's start with Jelly.
You guys want to know what I thought of it?
Yes, what
Yes,
are some pros and cons of your distance learning?
yeah.
Well, I have a hard time paying attention when I'm not physically there. So, some classes were very hard for me. Other than that, I mean, I really enjoy staying home because I just don't generally like going outside.
All right.
Mm,
How's how was your results at the end of the year?
they were okay.
They're okay. All right. What
Let's just
about
say that.
what about you, Toast?
For me, honestly, distance learning was pretty positive. Um, like I said on the first episode of the podcast, when we first went on to lockdown, like, I was about to fail some classes, and just because we went on a lockdown, I had so much more time, so much more easier things to focus on. I used to have problems with like focusing in class and stuff like that, but like for me, it was more of like, oh, I just needed to get rid of the distractions, because like being in school really forced me to get rid of the distractions, but like it's more of like it's more on you guys to like focus in on what you're doing and stuff. Um, not saying that certain people weren't doing that, but I'm just saying like for myself that was that was a problem that I had to overcome.
For me, especially during the beginning of the year, is procrastination, and time management. I I think time management is going to be really the most important thing, especially for high schoolers. Especially since I feel like this is probably going to be the closest the closest reenactment of college when it goes back because when you're in college, it's a lot more of on you, more on your time, because you're not gonna have your classes every day, and you're not gonna always have school from, let's say, 8 to 3:10. You'll be having gaps in these schedules, and like a lot of the homework and studying is going to be on you, which for me, I would always look at the like easy assignments and just be like, I can do this later. And then I'm up at 3:30 in the morning trying to finish the last minute website before it's due in 30 minutes.
Yeah,
But yeah,
with procrastination, I like at one point I wouldn't even start my assignments till Sunday at 9 p.m. You know, just to really add more pressure onto finishing at was it 11:59. But morally, that
yeah.
was like completely my fault that I waited that long. But I mean, for
Some
me,
of
the
the
work wasn't really like it's not like bone crushing work because I'm not taking like AP classes, so it might be different for those who are like taking like who like took 5 AP classes and are still trying to take them during distance learning. Like I know one of my friends she was taking I think five like AP classes, and then this year she only took two, and her teachers assigned like a work every single day, including weekends. So she's like, "Oh, I literally don't have any time off from school."
yeah. Um, I think it's great to like trying to look into like time management apps or little reminders like that. Like for me personally, on my desktop, I have this app called Tick, and since I'm doing school from my computer, if there's homework and stuff that I need to do, it's gonna pop up on my screen, and I can set it to where it'll give me focus time, where it'll basically shut down all my devices for a certain amount of time, or until I'm finished with whatever I need to focus working on. And then also I got me a calendar, and I usually write on there what needs to get done. Because for me it helps a lot more to have something visual to look at, and it's satisfying to actually cross off what I finished throughout the day, and then I know what needs to be done the next day if I didn't finish it.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, do you have a planner, man? Like a planner or something?
Yeah, I have a planner, but I was using it more so when we were going to school.
Or
But
even like,
having it like digitally pop up on my the desktop, that's like a
yeah,
lot more easier, because it wouldn't work if I just forgot to look at the planner.
yeah, or even like set a reminders in your phone, or using like the like I don't know, the calendar within your phone. Like I know like you can use apps and everything like that, like but like phones don't like calendars and reminders. I think like most of the time like people don't even recognize that phones come with that, like to set reminders or
Yeah.
dates, or you could set out an entire day and you know what you have to do or plan it out. But I think like that's one of the things within a phone that totally overlooked um like by those who are that by those who are in school or just in general by people. They don't tend to use the planner or the reminders or the calendars within their phone. You know,
Yeah,
I know just
there's
in general, we as people should probably use that more often.
there's like already like a crap ton of like technology that's built into the phone that like you'll
Yeah,
probably never know of.
yeah,
Like
true. Got it. Go ahead.
I know for me, for the Samsung, it comes with this AI called Bixby, and you could basically automate your phone to do all this stuff. And I think I've only used it once.
But you'll look for an app to like to do
No,
the same.
I, I literally could just go, hey Bixby, every day from now on, remind me at 2 p.m. to work out,
yo,
and
you
it
can
would.
program like that Bisky or that Bisbee. Like you can program it to like, oh, like hey Bisbee, like if I say that pineapple is great on pizza, you like whenever I say that phrase, you can hard reset and factory reset my cell phone. And like it'll do that, like or you can be like Big C kill switch, and that would like just that would break your phone. Like,
Wait, but who needs to set a self destruct for their phone?
I don't know,
Wait,
but
why is your self-destruct
no, it's
pineapple's
not.
good on pizza?
It's not. That was just an example. I just literally just thought of.
No, no, I'm asking you why would it be
No,
that?
it wouldn't be. Mine would probably be saying like glue, but but you have to say like but you have to press the button and say hey Bisbee or hey Bitsby, and then you say whatever the code phrase is. So like and like that and like that's how you get it to do like the different tasks. Um, you can set it up to where um so like you can set like a Bitsby like a routine. So like you can set up to where like when my alarm goes off. So like hey Bitsby, wait until my alarm goes off, and when my alarm goes off, play this music. Or and like you can have like at this time start my workout section, or like stream this to the TV. like and like if you really like go into it, and like, you can really set like you really like set up a lot of things and like automate it, but no one really does that. And like I'm not sure if it's just my phone that has Bitsby. Like I'm pretty sure that you can download it as an app.
Yeah.
Honestly, when you said that, I thought of like an Alexa or something.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah,
like
it's kind of like that.
yeah, it's the
Like I
it's the broke version of Alexa, for Samsungs.
I think like the one command that I use a lot is translate, and then it will open up my camera, and I could show it anything on my camera, and it will translate it to English.
Dang, that's crazy. I didn't even know they could do that.
Yeah, it can help you. It can really help.
Adding my brain.
Don't worry about that. I clicked on something.
Okay, we started at 2:30, right?
Yeah,
So
we
it's
started
been an
two.
hour.
They started 2:30. There's an hour. So y'all get to end the podcast here, or was there anything else you guys wanted to talk about?
I don't know. Probably say like happy holidays or something like that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Christmas Eve comes. Christmas Eve is when this podcast will be up. It was either Christmas Eve or on Christmas Day. So Merry Christmas to everyone listening in to the podcast.
And happy holidays.
Yes. Happy holidays. This was the French Toast podcast. For those who were listening on the YouTube version, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. If you want a certain topic to be talked about on the next podcast, go ahead and leave it in the comment section below. Our link to our Instagram will be in the description below as well. Vice versa, for those who are listening on the Instagram version or on the Spotify version, you can go ahead and check out on the YouTube version or leave a DM to the Instagram version for podcast topics. If you guys want to shout out the podcast, go ahead and do it. Just put it on your story. Anything helps. And also thank you to my word of mouth people, the people that are just talking about it. Talking about the podcast, or even bringing it up on your channel or your Instagrams really helps promote the podcast. Shout out to my teachers. I know who you are, and you know who I am. Thank you to our special guest on our podcast episode 3, Jelly. Do you have any socials or anything that you want to shout out? Any projects you got working on or anything?
You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at ConfusedJelly, and maybe follow me on Twitch. I might stream maybe later on at jelly_710.
All right. Thank you for joining us, and you guys have been listening to the French Toast Crew podcast.